And you don't always see it the same on the ice. So it is a good reality check for coaches to play once in a while. As we see a scoring attempt by Gray just go wide. That was number 17, Jared Christie for the Gray team. Turn and fire, that's steered away. Big hit on Brandon Erdahl by Christie. And Black turns the puck over at neutral ice and they give it away. Work back into the Black zone. Puck shot to the wall. Chased down by number 12, Michael Watuski. He has it in the corner. Centering play, nice pass. Christie denied at the last minute. And we got a 2-on-1 the other way. Mauk again. Been opportunistic all night. His centering attempt misses the mark. And back and forth we go. Toe drag attempt, shouldered, played away by the goaltender. Elijah Hansen works the puck up the wall. Nobody there for the Gray on defense. Comes out to neutral ice. Shot in, plays onside, or it's offside.
Coda's all over him.
Blows it down. Yeah. He was right on top of it.
Yep. Attaboy Coda. Don't even hesitate. And if anyone want to lip off, especially a guy in the suit, give it to him.
Did our coach switch teams?
Yeah, must have.
Maybe give the guys a pep talk on the Gray squad. They could use it.
He's probably just going to float to whatever team's winning.
Well, he's doing the opposite right now.
He's doing the opposite.
Yeah.
Maybe he feels like he has the magic touch over there.
We'll see. It didn't work in the early part of the game, as Gray gave up a goal, and a nice defensive effort there by Ivy Oshak to hold the zone. Puck played down to Nelson. The side of the net turned away. Tischer plays it now to Oshak. Shot and a goal. No, it just goes wide. I thought Ivy was going to get one off the deflection there. I'd like to see a clap bomb from 21 there. And that's not going to make it.
Oh, boy.
Stopped on the clean ice, believe it or not.
Must have been a warm puck. Ooh. Is that Ben?
It is.
Gurney.
Gurney throwing his weight around. They say he was an enforcer in high school. He's got a good frame on him.
Yeah, he does. I think that's probably why he elected to wear the cage today. He just knew that was his role in this whole program here, was to lay the wood.
He's going to run around a little bit and wanted that cage for protection just in case.
Yep.
Smart. Very smart.
Yep.
Tischer is going to play a loose puck behind the net just away from him. Gustafson swoops in, but collides with his own man. Miscommunication. Searing attempt is picked off by Gustafson. We'll get a look at his wheels here. Good defensive play there by Gray's number 19, Thomas Watuski. Petron cuts in, turned away by Nelson. Watuski plays it up the wall. Chip play to Hagstrom. He's lost the shoulder pads and he's much faster now.
Oh, look at that.
Tries to cut to the middle.
Just aerodynamic, that number 8.
Just lost it at the last minute. Puck played rink wide. Watuski plays it back. Wohlers picks it up. She's got Hagstrom on her left. Cuts to the middle, falls, drop pass, shot, and steered away as Neppel fires one right on, and that's steered away by the goaltender. Puck played back deep into Gray's zone, turnover. Number 10, Aaron Muehlberg chases it down. Neppel struggles on the half wall, gives it back to Gustafson. Watuski's battling him. Puck now played to the black blue line. Tip play goes just wide on a nice shot from number 12, Carson Hout. I'm not sure who got the tip on that, as we see Black snipe one as the puck comes to Gustafson in the slot.
He knows what to do there.
You may want to cover that guy. I think that's his 4th goal of the night. Neppel barking orders. There's the wheels falling off of Gray's team at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, someone's going to have to step up over there, and he might have to just break a hockey stick there on the bench or throw a garbage can.
Or bench himself.
Bench himself, one of the two. Maybe I'm the problem.
Look in the mirror, 20, look in the mirror. All right, Black plays it out of their own end. Muehlberg plays it up to neutral ice. That's carried in by Aaron Muehlberg. AJ to Aaron, that's been a connection we've seen a few times with Erdahl on this line. Probably one of the most dangerous lines on the ice, as a three-man unit anyway. Puck centered from Erdahl to Aaron Muehlberg in the tap-in 5-hole.
Yeah, those Muehlberg boys have always been rink rats. I'm sure they're still playing multiple nights a week at this point.
And you had an interesting story about, was it Aaron?
Yeah, I thought it was AJ.
Or was it maybe AJ?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to get a penalty here. Sort of misconduct? Oh, no, we need a med kit. That's what. No, we're going in the box. We going in? Nope, there's no shortage. So I think it's just Reagan Wohlers going in the box for repairs.
I'm assuming you're going to go, you're alluding to the Aberdeen tournament.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm alluding to. As we had, we played in a men's league tournament with the Muehlberg brothers once upon a time. As we get a penalty called here on Black. And Gray gets their goalie off the ice. Shot on. They still control. No whistle yet. Puck steered back into the corner. And now it's finally touched. As maybe we can use this stoppage. And you can tell us your story as our children got an education that day.
Yeah, Joe bumped into Joe upstairs here at Stearns at one of the high school games. He's like, "Hey, what are you guys doing in a couple weekends? And we need a couple guys to go play in a tournament." And so you and I went down there. We committed, went down there and skated. And I mean, we had a good time. You know, we went had a couple drinks after a game, but you know, for the most part, went to bed pretty early. A couple of those guys ended up staying up pretty late, and I don't think they had any water. Like from the time they finished hockey till they stepped on the ice the next day. And one of those boys ended up getting rid of some of the toxic waste from the day before in a garbage can.
Pre-game ritual.
Pre-game ritual. And our young boys there were able to witness that, and they got to learn a little bit about beer hockey and beer hockey tournaments.
Yeah, usually when you throw up prior to a game, it means you're sick and you can't play. But when you're in men's league, if you throw up prior to a game, you're just clearing the pipes out. It means you're ready to go.
Yeah,
so.
now you feel better.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, we have a special guest, head coach Adam Wertsema here joining us. And jumping on the stream, can talk a little bit about some Blades hockey as we see the power play here for the Gray set it up. Welcome on, Coach. We're just chatting a little bit about some of the Blades players over the years. Did you play with anybody on the ice right now?
Yeah, I was. Thanks for having me on. It's fine. It's kind of funny to be on this side of it now, looking down with the headset on. But yeah, there's a good group of guys. I got the roster here from somebody, and there's a nice goal scored.
Nice goal. Is that? Let's see, too. Mauk. He's been all over the place tonight. He's dangerous.
Yeah, he's definitely got his feet moving. That helps. This Black squad's kind of running away with this. I hope Gray's going to have to dig deep here and kind of maybe look in the mirror and decide what kind of team or how they're going to finish this.
Well, we were talking about Coach Neppel. It looked like he was maybe barking at some of his teammates, and we thought he might need to bench himself to get his team going again, but we'll see what happens. Okay, now we got our guy off the bench here. This could turn things around. 10-2, it's about time. Goaltender Jared Ommel coming into the game. We were saying that he has a special routine of hydration that he needs before he can come out on the ice, and I think he's fully lubricated now, so.
It is tough to come in cold, though.
Yeah. Well, he's warm.
No matter how lubricated you are, if you haven't had a couple pucks hit the pads, it takes a little bit to get into it.
Good defensive play there.
Maybe this will give Gray a little shot in the arm.
Yep.
Get pucks going north.
We'll see.
Get in there.
There's a rip that goes high and wide by number 19, Thomas Wituski. So, yeah, tell us a little bit about some of any past stories or any stories of people playing in the game today.
Well, let's see. I'm looking through here. I got Jared Christie on the roster here, Nick Nelson, Tanner Ployer, Austin Hagstrom, Adam Fredericks. You know, it's a big group of guys. Wyatt Hedrick was the goalie when I was coming through my senior and junior years. But I don't know. We don't. You know, when you get to this point, you know, you've been out of high school hockey for 15 years. You don't necessarily remember a lot of the games, but you remember the moments in the locker room, on the bus. I think there was a time we were in Fargo going to face Shanley. I think we stopped at a restaurant before, and it was kind of a tight corner for the bus to take, and he kind of hooked himself or hung himself up on the corner. So all the guys had to get off the bus, file themselves to the back. And, it's kind of a joke. It's like, guys, we got to, the bus, you can tell, is kind of struggling. And then all of a sudden the coach kind of gives the look back and says, hey, guys, we're going to actually have to get out and help push. And we're like, really? All right, so we got out and, we, as a group, team mentality,
there you go.
We pushed the bus off of it and got to the game. So I don't remember what the score of the game was that day,
right.
But I know we had a good team function before it to hopefully get us going.
Like you say, that's what builds the memories. So what year did you graduate, Coach?
I would have graduated in 2010.
2010. All right. And so a couple maybe former players from yours on the ice. Let's see. Did you were assistant coach with Jared Amo played?
Yep, Jared was the senior goaltender then. He was a really strong player. It's not surprising he was able to go play on at Crookston. And I knew his head coach, Steve Johnson, UND alum, who had him in Crookston there, and I run into him here and there. And he said, his junior and senior years, he was a guy who was a starter. Stepped in and worked himself into a role to where he's the starting goaltender. And anytime you can do that past high school, people don't realize no matter where you're at, you're going against the next level of players. You look around, the next level is usually the 2 or 3 best players of every other high school team.
Right.
Actually, probably less than that.
Yeah,
right. So it takes something to get to the next level, and it's cool to have a guy like that. You see his gear on, and hopefully there's some young goaltenders in here who can see that and say, hey, maybe I want to play somewhere else after we're done here in the Blades program.
You bet. Sending Tim for Tischer off his stick. When did Travis Tischer graduate? You know when Travis Tischer graduated?
He'd probably been 06, 07, I would say.
Oh, he wrestled. Okay. Well, okay.
He did play hockey for a while, though. I want to say he was one of those guys we lost late, probably freshman, sophomore age, right? But no, there's a good range of players here. I think I look at Aaron Muehlberg and Jake Gustafson.
Yeah.
They're probably some of the older guys here. And you wouldn't know it.
No.
I know those guys skate a lot and play, and they're wheeling around the ice. I think, I was just down in the locker room a little bit. I want to say they developed a little bit since they've left the program. They haven't stopped playing and working on their skill. So.
No. Jake's fun to play with and to watch. He's always a threat when he's got the puck.
And now we got our rink manager with the puck, so people better watch out around him. He's got quite the authority to send people off the ice if he needs to.
Yeah, he can start sending the other team home.
There's some storylines within this game that people don't realize.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Ben Gurney, number 2 for the gray team. He was throwing his weight around down here a couple shifts ago too.
I think that's kind of a characteristic of a rink managers, right? Throw your weight around a little bit.
There you go. Abuse your power. Yeah, sounds familiar.
But no, I would definitely say, this has been a great showing.
Yeah.
I was able to got a good crowd again.
Amazing showing.
A lot of great players, spanned a lot of years who played in the program, and it's nice to see that people are still paying attention and take pride in the program, want to come back and be a part of it, because, hockey in this area doesn't get much better, right?
Right.
So I'm happy to see all the people here, and hopefully maybe grow this into a Saturday tournament or something like that. Not just one game. And
there you go. Yeah, it's always nice, no matter where you're at, when your alumni can come together and the people who've been a part of your program, for the youth program all the way up through high school, can kind of get back together and really celebrate the game, celebrate the friendships, and just come together for a good day like today. It's always fun to see old coaches, teammates, and then kind of see in some instances, what's going on currently with the program. If some guys are coming in from out of town, the current state of the program.
What they've been up to. They're still playing. This is a great way to get together, but I was telling the guys, the best way to get together is probably get together down by the X at a bar down there for a couple and come watch us play in the state tournament, right?
That'd be nice. That would be the ultimate alumni get together. That'd be a good one. I look forward to that next season.
Yep.
Get your hotel rooms early. So 10-2 in the second, and AJ Muehlberg in the box for the black team here. Very unable to get things going.
Which I was younger when he was playing. He's no stranger to the penalty box. This isn't an unusual thing to see AJ in there.
He's very comfortable in there, okay.
Well, he was a guy who had oh, there we go.
Coach Neppel gets on the board finally. On the power play, I'm not sure how he made his way on the power play, but stealthy from the backside.
I will say he was on the power play, but he was net front. So usually that's not a guy you have handle the puck too much. But as you can see, they made a nice play on the side there, got the puck down to the corner, and the puck found his tape. When you're a net front guy, all you got to do is just bang away. That's all you got to do.
That's it.
And he got it in there. So
he started the rally. Let's see if Gray can build off that momentum.
Aaron does have some past and current Bantam players here, so he might have a little pressure on him to probably do some of the things that he preaches from the bench on the ice today.
Yep, we were talking about that as Coach Hagstrom crossed over the blue line, made sure he got the puck deep, as he had some players looking on that would have let him hear about it had he not done that. So.
Well, in these alumni games, you got to take it easy on these guys. Maybe not getting pucks deep or back checking as hard as probably things we'll look past.
Yeah.
I do see that there are some guys wearing shoulder pads, which I know that they say that this is a full check competition if they want, but I have seen that there's been discretion, which is good.
Yes. Well, I was talking to your brother-in-law earlier, and he said he could never recall an alumni game that was full contact. And I don't think I could either, but like you said, there's guys maybe exercising some caution.
Well, I think when you realize, Monday there is a work day that's going to come, and you might have to take part in that, and that might be bigger than this. So,
but it's been good so far. Good contest. Looks like everyone's having a good time. So 10-4, evidently. Maybe they hadn't put a goal on the board for the Gray team. So it is closer than what we thought.
Well, that's the thing, too. At Gray, sometimes you got to do things that maybe you wouldn't do, and maybe you're working the ref, trying to get an extra goal up there just to get some momentum going.
That could work in a game like this, yeah.
Oh, you do everything you can, Here's Jared Christie coming down the dot lane. I don't know if someone got a stick on that or not, but if it wouldn't hit the netting, it would have been a breakout for Black.
Yeah, I think that was a clean over the glass. Yeah. No, I don't think that got touched. He must have heated his stick too much in the oven last night, put too big of a curve on it.
There are guys on the roster who did those things back in the day.
Yep,
the kids these days don't know anything about that.
Nope, the burn marks that you had from the torch shows it. The smell of burning glue is pretty much a hallmark in the locker room before games. And now you just don't see that anymore.
No, you got the one-piece sticks. You don't have the blades going in the shafts or anything like that, or the plugs.
I think we saw somebody who was using a wood stick to keep an eye out. There it is right there, the sheer wood. Number 12 on Gray. Michael Wituski using the actual lumber. So you see a puck deflected in on Black.
Yeah, kind of a scary play there for Jimmy Finkrell. I think when the puck comes through there, you either got to make a decision. Sometimes the decision is just let it go through.
Yep.
Don't get a piece of it because you don't know where that puck's going to go if it touches you. You see that many times. And luckily, his goaltender was ready.
Yeah. Who's playing goalie for Black?
I want to say that's Tim Brewer. Or that's Tucker. That's Tucker. The Tim was playing, I think, where Jared took over for him, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't have one name on there, so yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
that was Tim Brewer. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there he is, number 1 already.
Yeah, there's not too many skaters who wear the number 1.
No, there isn't. Black works it up to their blue line. Shot on, steered away by Arnold into his far side corner. Puck played to the line, but not out. Good hold there by 16, Austin Klug. Worked back into Gray zone. They'll regroup. Wituski behind his own net. Works it to the middle to Wohlers. She has trouble with the pass. Steered back in, but right back to Wohlers, and she'll get it through the neutral ice. Worked it over to the half wall, and Black will take over there. Centering attempt broken up by Gustafson. We'll get a look at his speed here. Checked well.
Oh, there's one thrown.
Checked well. Isaac Wohlers. Heard there was scouts in the building.
Well, you could tell he kind of got the angle on him right at the red line. That's where you want to do it, the forced dumps and maybe get an icing. But
breakaway for Isaac. Caught from behind and then runs over the goalie. Empty net. Shot and the whistle is blown as we had goalie interference. So Reagan sends it up to Isaac. Goes in. He's caught from behind. Takes out the goaltender. And see if there's a goaltender interference call.
Well, this looks like this got Gray's bench fired up. Hopefully this lights a fire, when things like this happen, it can either go one or two ways. And I think for Gray, this is going to go in the right direction. Just just by seeing how their bench is excited here, they feel like they maybe got gypped on that one.
Yeah.
And hopefully that lights a fire underneath them to get moving.
Could be the TSN turning point to the game.
What's up? It's not on.
No, it's not on. Hagstrom sweeps in, breaks up a play. Nelson steps in, he's hooked. And we're gonna get a call on Black as Tischer swings the puck up high. Adam Fredericks down, centers, nobody there. And that'll get us a stoppage. Black goes back to the box as they had the 6-on-5 going. Any news for next year, Coach? The high school team?
Well, we graduated 2 seniors this past year, David Beam and Tizian Crumming. Tizian Crumming was a foreign exchange student from Germany, and Beam was one of our goaltenders this year, so we actually bring the bulk of our team back, so we're excited about that. I think the guys are ready to put in a big off season, and we're going to strengthen our schedule a bit. Obviously, you see that our Section 6A group of teams had changed. Alexandria went up to AA, and we'll be playing in Section 8 AA with Moorhead and Brainerd and Bemidji in that group. So Sartell and Little Falls have been moved into our section, so be 2 good additions to the section, make it a little tougher, but we'll hopefully get both those teams on the schedule here this coming year and strengthen the schedule here and get things moving in the right direction. I think you know, our forward group's going to be really strong. Our defensive core is going to be really strong, so it's going to be an opportunity where if you want to move up in the lineup, you're going to have to come back a better player and not be the same player you were last year. And I think guys are starting to realize that, and we're starting to get that inner competition in the program.
Do you think the section got harder?
I do think so. I mean, when you lose, well, obviously we were an 8-team section before. This year we were an 8-team section. Next year we're a 9-team section, right? And
yeah.
I think they added 2 teams that are going to be, you know, probably in the upper tier. So
Sartell's moving down from AA.
They are.
Yeah, that people don't understand. Yeah, so they're a strong program. So you lose Alex, but you gain Sartell. And
yeah, and Little Falls, I think they had one of their better teams this year, and they graduated a lot.
Okay, but they're always a good team. So all right, we're gonna throw it down here. Tony or Justin's got an interview, and we'll just send it down to him real quick.
I'm here with Black Team's captain, Aaron Muehlberg. Aaron, do you think that was a penalty?
You know, I think it's a little soft out there, personally. You know, we're just showing a lot of grit. We're working hard, have a lot of hustle plays. That's what happens.
You guys are playing a really good game. Great on defense. We've been commenting up there. You guys must have went over the chalkboard, reinforced defense for you guys on the back end. A lot of back checking, things you usually don't see in an alumni game.
Yeah, this is what you work all year for. This right here.
Right here. Is it great coming back to Stearns Arena and putting the gear on and playing again?
Yeah, it really is. It's fun. Fun to get to see all the guys.
Yeah, it's great to see you. We'll cut you loose so you can get back here and score. If you do, make sure you point up at us over at
all right, sounds good.
Good luck the rest of the game.
All right, sounds good.
Back to you.
All right, thanks, Justin. Interesting words from, was that team captain? Did he say team captain?
Aaron Muehlberg,
yeah, okay, Aaron Muehlberg.
Aaron was a good player in high school. Good two-way center. Played both ends of the rink. But going back to our, that was a good tip.
Shot off the post. Centering attempt, covered.
Going back to the section talk, every 6 years they kind of redraw everything and they do big moves. But within that 6-year time frame, they do every 2 years, and they try to do smaller moves where they don't mess up a whole section or move more than 1 or 2 teams. So we are in the process of one of those 2-year changes, and then after the 25-26 and 26-27 seasons, that'll be another 6-year where they'll change things a lot depending on what teams are in A and AA. So we'll have 2 years of the current section format now that they just put out a couple days ago.
I thought just looking a nice goal there
By Wyatt Hedrick.
We were saying that he looks just like Jalen Chatfield of the Carolina Hurricanes, wearing the same number too, but yeah, beauty.
So Wyatt was a goaltender
He
in his
was,
playing
okay.
days, so he kind of showed a little bit of
He's got
touch
hands,
there around
yeah.
the net. Able to elevate that puck quickly and tight.
Yeah, so it will be interesting to see how things shake out as far as the section tournament goes. And like I said, I think everyone was kind of happy to see Alex go, but when you gain Sartell and Little Falls, that And then the extra team. Does that mean that there will be a first-round bye for the #1 seed and then a play-in game? Or?
There will just be a play-in game to get to the 8 teams, and then that winner of that 8-9 game will play the 1 seed. But you know, we do the first round, the quarterfinal, and the sections obviously at the high seed, right?
Yep.
So, and then our semifinals and finals are down at the MAC in St. Cloud. So really, getting that top 4 seed and having that first home game is about the best thing you can do to get an advantage. Otherwise, you know, being the 3 seed so you don't have to go against the 1 in the semifinals is probably the next best thing. But so basically getting that top 4, getting that home game in the first round, and then you go down to the neutral site. That's kind of what you play for in the regular season. But, you know, regardless of whoever comes in this section, you know, you want to have good games, tough games throughout the section, because you make it through the section, where are you going? You're going to state, right? And those are going to be tough games too. And sometimes when you get in a roll and you're playing good teams and you build confidence, you know, if you beat Little Falls or Fergus Falls in a section tournament, you maybe build some confidence going to the state tournament. If you have too easy of a path for those couple of games, then I don't think you come ready to the state tournament, which that's where you got to be playing your best hockey.
Yeah, certainly that's the best, for the most part, the best 8 teams in the state.
Exactly.
What else are we going to tell you? You were talking about your schedule for next year. Anything you can tell us there?
We're moving through it. I think we're going to add Little Falls. We're going to get another game with Wilmer. You know, it's we're going to have the biggest roster I've had since I've been here as a coach. So we're going to have a full JV and varsity teams, right? So it's going to be very important that we have JV and varsity games every night. I know last year our JV team maybe didn't get as many games as they probably should have, just playing teams that don't have JV programs, right? So that'll be a change that'll be coming. But no, I think it's going to be similar, and you know, add some of those teams from the section that have been added, and we'll be back in the Fergus Falls holiday tournament over Christmas break, which I think is great. It's like adding.
Yeah.
They're not home games, but they're only 25 minutes away, so you can't go around doing that.
I thought. You know, moving this last year, we went to a full schedule of 25 games. And the year before, we were at 22, 21?
Yeah, I think it was 23 or something like that.
It felt, you could notice a difference. Though.
Oh, yeah.
It felt like there was, I mean, more games than there was, but it just felt like maybe it was just the way the schedule was laid out, too. It felt like we were playing every other day for most of the winter.
Yeah,
so
and
it felt like.
That's where it's, you know, we're lucky this past year we didn't have many games canceled, right? You get that 25-game schedule, and all of a sudden you get 2 or 3 games canceled because of weather or sickness or whatever, which is no fun. But all of a sudden you start getting those Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday weeks, which can be really tough. You don't get a lot of practice time, and you can't really practice hard anyways because you got to have the body ready to go for the next game. Oh, now they're blocking shots.
Yeah, this is a full-out deal. Is there a trophy for the winner of this? Guys are really selling out. Must be just a lot of pride on the line here.
Well, you know, anytime you throw the jersey on, you got to have some pride.
There you go. There we go. Puck work to neutral. Sent across to Petron. Pulls up, fires. Saved by Arnold. Loses his stick in the process. Back to Petron. Puts one on. Arnold without a stick. Gray comes away. Hagstrom skates away with it. Scott Fredericks going with him. He's going to go wide. Pulls it across and...
No finish.
No. It's been a theme for number 8 tonight. He lost the shoulder pads and he got a little faster, but he maybe needs new gloves too. I don't know. Now he fires one on. Puck played by A.J. Muehlberg to center ice. Gurney wheels there. And he's going to... Oh, it got on the net, so he avoided icing. Played to Gustafson off his skates. Gurney goes hard into the corner with him. Puck played back to Hagstrom. Center. Ooh. Glad they pulled up there. Good pass from the goaltender.
Ooh.
AJ to Aaron.
One thing I'll say is, you know, Brett Petron kind of got this idea flowing, and big thank you to him for doing the work, getting it set up. And here we got a breakaway. You can take it away here, John.
Wyatt Hendrick in, puck rolling, lets it settle down, or tried to, and then fired it high. Sarah Muehlberg plays it up to her brother Aaron. Puck held in. Shot on. That'll be stopped for a whistle. 33 seconds. The second period just kind of flew by here. Tony, you got any interviews planned?
Yeah, we got Jack Barton coming up.
Jack Barton?
Jack Barton.
Jack Barton, referee of the day. And second-year Bantam player will be our next interview coming up shortly.
That'll be timely. You get a chance to get an explanation for what happened in the second period when the goaltender got ran into there. And the puck ended up in the net, and they waved it off. You can kind of hear from their side what they saw and what was the process of making that decision, which, you know, on this end of the ice, there's been some questionable goal calls.
This year?
This year, so.
I didn't want to bring that up, but since you did, yeah. One of the more straight, that was a Fergus Falls game. We had maybe 2 goals that were really head scratchers there, one for each team, ironically enough.
So they did even it out, so we'll give it that.
And I still haven't figured out the rule. I think we scored and the net was off, and they gave us the goal because the goal.
If the net hadn't gone off, it would have went in anyways.
I think that, and I don't know if that's the rule or not. Maybe you do, but we were talking about at the time if that is actually the case.
Well, at the moment, I believed it was.
Yeah, it was the right call.
I was like, yep, that sounds right.
It sounded right to me too.
But then when the puck seemed to be froze and then got hit in after the whistle, then I didn't necessarily agree with that one. But that's part of the game. They're not always going to go the way that you want, but you can control what you can control, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's one thing. We said this on the broadcast at the time. At every level, when the whistle blows, the play is done and nothing goes on. But referee had a different opinion there. Well, we're going to throw it down here. I believe Justin's ready. Maybe. Or Jack is getting in there. We'll throw it down to Justin.
Today, Jack Barton. Jack, what do you think of the pace of the game here for your first Alumni Association or Blaze alumni game?
It was slow at the start. They're all kind of getting back into it, and then it kind of picked up, and they got a lot better.
What did Gray do that period in order to get back in this thing? This thing looked way out of reach, and now there's somewhat of a game here.
I think Black got a little too overconfident there, and then Gray just kind of found their spark and went after it.
Sure. So you got an inside perspective. Are those boys and these men and women behaving themselves out there? Are they acting like ladies and gentlemen or no?
I'd say they're kind of back in their high school days, enjoying it, but they're definitely kind of in the middle there.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you doing this for us today. You having fun?
Yeah, I am having fun.
Yeah, thanks. Continue on.
All right, thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Justin. And Jack, nice job today so far by our referees, Jack Barton and Coda Spiekemeyer. As we see some of the high school players on the ice here now. For Chuck-a-Puck pickup time, as we see our Chuck-a-Puck.
3, 2, 1.
So special thank you to all the volunteers today who made this day possible. Again, it is a fundraiser for the high school program.
So, John, you think you could have skated in this? You think you would have put up 3 goals and maybe 5 assists?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
You get to see a chiropractor. You'd probably have to see a chiropractor. Is that what I hear?
Yeah. No, I don't think I don't think so. I did not play hockey this year, so I'm certainly not in game shape. That's for sure. Although, by the way, sound of it, a lot of these guys hadn't either. Yeah. There's guys going over to Brad Hoffman's house looking for gear, pulling their skate. I don't know, some of them haven't pulled their skates out since high school. They're a little rusty. Ben had to knock the rust off them. So, yeah, a lot of these guys haven't skated much either. So.
Yeah. Well, it was a really, really nice turnout. I mean, we're still got a period of game left, but nice turnout for something like this, you know?
Yeah, especially,
Yeah.
It's a nice Saturday afternoon, too. Great turnout. We got Pranti's beer garden going on down there. Thanks to them for being here. And yeah, again, just a lot of friends and family members, just program supporters over the years coming out to watch things. And so.
Yeah, and and even having some of the high school kids out here hanging out, being a part of it as well. Helping out in the penalty box.
Yeah, kind of seeing the extended network, and a lot of guys tonight at prom, as we saw a few prom attendees in here earlier.
Hang on one second, we're going to go live.
Here.
Oh.
What year did you graduate, Jake?
2003.
2003. Well, that'd be a year after I graduated.
Yeah, it's quite a while ago, Justin.
Time flies and you're having fun, right?
Yep.
You live over in Fergus Falls. You're active in that organization?
Yep, we got 3 youth hockey players, do some coaching, play some men's league. So, yeah, a lot of time at the rink in Fergus.
What success, or what do you contribute to the success of the black team here today as you guys have a commanding lead heading into the third period?
You know, I think a lot of short shifts. You know, it's next man up every shift, just doing what you're asked for. Everyone's digging deep into all those old coaching suggestions that we had over the years, and everyone's executing them today.
Yeah. So you're gonna just go into a dump and chase.
No, we're definitely not going to dump and chase. You know, 5-goal lead. It's a dangerous league in men's league, so we got to keep pouring it on here.
Yeah, I didn't think it'd happen here. You guys kind of lost a little bit of your way there at the end of the period and kind of let Gray back into this thing.
Yep, you know, Gray's a young team, and they're going to be coming out flying in the third, so we just got to keep grinding.
Well, I won't get in the way of you and a beer, so if you want to go in,
all right,
good luck.
Justin.
Good luck the rest of the
day.
All
right, thanks.
Thank you. Back to you guys.
All right. Thank you, Justin and Jake. You know, when he asked him what he attributed his black success today, I was waiting for him to say myself. Me.
Yeah, right.
He's got 5 goals on the day. I thought he was just going to pat his own back there and say, yeah, it's just me. Pretty much me.
He's in line to be player of the game?
Well, I mean, I don't know who you'd put above him at this point.
Yeah, so how many goals does he have?
Maybe one of the Muhlenberg boys, they're wheeling around too pretty good. I'd say he's got to be up there. Well, let's see. Has Almold given up a goal yet?
I don't think so.
He's pitching a shutout. I think no, he held him.
Yeah.
No, he gave up one.
Did he? Maybe he was just getting warmed up.
No, he came in halfway through the period, though, didn't he? Yeah. So no,
I was going to say
it was Brewer who had given up. Unfortunately, all 10 goals for the Gray squad.
But hey, you know what? It happens that way. Some days you're on, some days you're not.
So we got the 50-50 winner and the Chuck and Puck winner. We got some players out here checking their tickets.
Yeah. Well, see, and I talked to Ben earlier this week, and I said, Ben, are you going to jump on the Zam between periods to Zam the ice, or, you know, just up there with your skates on and just zamming away? He said, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that.
Pass the torch to Brecken.
Yeah.
Who's more than equipped to handle the job.
Well, this is always a fun time. I mean, like I said, I was telling Justin at the beginning of the game, I was like, you know, I'd love to see the high school kids play, but I'm happy that it's we're coming to an end here and letting the boys rest and get ready for next season. And this is a great way to end the season with the alumni game.
Yeah, I think so too. This to make this a reoccurring thing here.
Yeah.
As a good celebration of the year.
Yep.
And a good fundraiser. Certainly the Blades have a lot to be positive about after their year. Unfortunately falling in the section semi-final to the eventual section champion.
Yeah.
What do I want to say? Northern Lakes.
Northern Lakes, yeah. And they heck of a year. They lost their coach, so hopefully, you know.
Northern Lakes battled at the state tournament, battled East Grand Forks pretty hard. I think it was a 2-goal game. And the Blades hung in there with them. Almost made it a game there, and kind of got away from it at the end. I think it was a 7-2 loss, but played very well, and just certainly not something you've seen from this program, at least not in recent memory here, where they were competing at the level. And like Coach said, bringing all their players back for next year, with the exception of Teach and David Beam. So pretty much a full boat coming back with a lot of young, talented kids coming up from Bantams. And so lots to be positive about. And I think just in other aspects too, the program just headed in the right direction at the youth level.
Yeah.
Much more organization, good coaching at all across all levels, and good parent involvement, good volunteers. So really, and then certainly back down to the rink too, with Ben doing a tremendous job here, managing the rink, making it accessible for the boys to skate when they need to skate, when they want to skate, and doing his best to keep the kids on the ice. Just from top to bottom, lots to be proud of.
Yeah.
And lots to be positive about.
Yeah, I think that line of kids coming up is just getting better and better. A lot of kids if you look, I mean, within the program, a lot of kids are still doing some summer stuff, you know, getting into training, not just going to play hockey, but just getting training and getting better. And that's a good thing for these kids. You know, I look at the 2008s and say, you know, they are the trailblazers, just like the 2007s, to get this program where, I mean, where they used to be. We were really good. And, you know, that's not a knock on anyone. It's just more of a, you know, it kind of started going down a little, and now we're trying to get it back up, and it's heading in the right direction, and it's all about the youth behind these groups to keep it going.
Yeah, and the people behind them, parents and grandparents, and everybody who volunteers or does anything for the organization. So again, things like this. We have now the alumni base is coming back into the picture and getting together. Again, Brett Petron doing a tremendous job of putting this event together. But really, when you look at what makes a strong program, it's a strong alumni presence in and around the rink, and there to support, there to fundraise, and that's always essential to keeping kids on the ice and having equipment and allowing for travel. There's certainly a lot of expenses that go with the hotel or with the high school program. You know, if there's an away tournament, you got hotels, you got food, which of course you would know all about, as you were lining up all the meals this year for the boys on their away games, busing. So a lot goes into it. It takes a lot to keep a team on the ice. Of course, the new jerseys that they just got this year and debuted this year, which look beautiful. But there's always a need. And so again, hopefully that as this grows and the alumni get stronger, and then again, as you know, as we're graduating, so we'll graduate a big class this year.
We will.
That's going to be a good group of alumni in the future. And that hopefully that just keeps rolling, and we get strong numbers, and everything keeps going the right direction.
What are we losing this year? Like 10 plus, somewhere in there?
You know, I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to count them up, but it's probably close to that. It's a big group. Probably the biggest graduating class for a while here for hockey.
And you know, and I've heard through the grapevine where kids who took a year off want to come back and play with this group, and I think just watching from the stands, people want to be a part of it. So I'm happy for that, and hopefully everyone can contribute and see the success this winter. So
100% right. So I mean, you look at some of the guys, and I've heard the same rumors that want to come back. And when you got a strong program and you're having some success, everybody wants to be part of it. And I hope they choose to come out and play, because we want everybody to partake and enjoy themselves. It's about making memories and having good, strong relationships at the end of the day when you're all done. And hopefully that we see some participation from some guys who took a year off coming back. Well, we got Justin back with us now.
Yeah, it was interesting just catching up with some of the guys walking through the crowd, and Jake Gustafson, who we did interview, but off camera, he was recalling some of the stuff that I guess I completely forgot that I did it back in high school, because he is just a year older or younger than me.
You blocked those memories out.
Apparently,
to not self-incriminate.
Yeah. But I mean, there's stories obviously that we could tell, probably not on this channel right here, but he was recalling some of this stuff back, and I'm like, yeah, you're right, I did that, didn't I?
Wait a minute, you mean you weren't always the sound mind, intelligent person that you are now?
I just appear that way.
So when you wonder what your son was thinking, now looking back, that you maybe made some of those decisions as well?
Oh, 100%. I see that and I'll be like, yeah, I get it. I mean, I'm not even mad half the time. I'll just be like, you got to be better. And I know you probably will be at some point, but at this point in time, yeah, it's just, when you're in high school, I don't know, what do they say, the male brain takes, to 25 before it's fully developed?
Now, it's focused on a lot of other things during those years.
Yeah.
There seem to be some giant distractions there. I can't say I made a lot of real intelligent decisions in my adolescent years either. So, considering looking at this group of high school kids, they're all pretty good. They're all, they're all pretty responsible. Tony was talking a little bit about some of the things happening here, and just looking at our summer programs. You get full buy-in there from everybody, top to bottom, and you got guys just, you know, getting up. Most of them work, and they'll come to the rink here before work, get a workout in, shoot some pucks, and then go to work all day. And that's just commitment, and that's kind of what you're seeing on the ice right now with some of the success they're having. Full buy-in from everybody, and that's kind of what it takes to push the program forward. You know, we had some success this last year, and I don't think we're going to take anybody by surprise now.
No.
Everybody knows that we really didn't graduate a whole lot of kids. You know, we get the bulk of our roster back, so you know nobody's circling that as an easy game on their schedule. I don't think this year.
I can't imagine that would be the case. You know, you just not very often in high school hockey do you bring back everybody, right? And you know, you take away the fact that the kids aren't the kids are motivated to get better, and they are going to be jumping into the gyms and doing the workouts here at the rink and shooting and whatnot just to get better. But just being a year older and mature, that alone, stronger is all in of itself is going to just put you to a better level. And you could even see it at the end of last year that the guys were really starting to play that team game. Really took a year and a half to get into those game concepts and systems that Adam has been implementing. Especially the whole team top to bottom. You could see some of the juniors last year were already there starting the year, but getting some of those sophomores that were coming in, they weren't necessarily playing that game concept, and it took them a while to get into that scheme and play well in that scheme. Now you can see, like, even up against Northern Lakes, highly skilled team that plays a much different forecheck than what we're used to. We were able to adapt pretty quickly because this is how we play, and this is how we have to defend that, or this is how we have to forecheck or get around that breakout on their forecheck. So just becoming smarter hockey players. That only just takes time. You can't rush that process.
No, you can't. And it's just nice to see things coming together after a lot of hard work. It's been a lot of course, we kind of started out back in the day coaching this group that's now graduating, which makes me feel extremely old.
Yeah.
And it started a long time ago. In fact, we didn't even know each other.
No.
We met here, right?
Probably when I worked with your wife, Tracy.
I just remember hearing, like, you're going to coach us, we're going to coach mini mites with some guy named Justin Nepple. I was like, okay.
This plug.
I have no idea what I'm doing, so I hope he does.
Yeah.
And,
but you remember some of those days when we stepped in here and we knew that it was an organization that was not set up for success going into the future at that point in time. And then you go to some of those USA hockey meetings, you start learning about ADM and then cross ice and things like that, and you start walking through that process like, this is how we should be practicing, this is how we should be, you know, playing in-house games and stuff like that, and start implementing some of those ideas. And then, you know thankfully, the kids that are in that high school junior, they'll be next year seniors, juniors, are almost like family to me. I mean, we've spent so much time with them raising, and like the family groups too, because they bought into all that, right?
Yeah.
We're like, hey, we got to go do this, and like, okay. I mean,
like you and I were dragging them around in the spring, sometimes in the summer, to do some of these things, and asking a lot of them. And, you know, very seldomly did anybody say no.
No, yeah, exactly. And I think there isn't a single parent or kid that if they were to call and they needed something, I wouldn't hesitate at this point in time, because they're all great people, and it's just been a fun process to go through. And, you know, them looking into the future is maybe one of the better teams that might be brought forward ever in the Blaze organization next year. And I know there's some opportunities in the future too to be, you know, have some really good squads too, but next year will be a really good year when you look at the nice blend of kind of that grit hockey and skill kind of coming together. And, you know, you got goaltender that's going to be a lot more seasoned, and defense a lot more seasoned. No, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, certainly. And I think Tony and I had alluded to earlier, some really nice players coming out of bounds this year too, who I feel are going to contribute. Certainly at JV, but I think some of those guys are going to push for time. Maybe not right away, but eventually they'll be pushed for time at the varsity level. if you come back where you were last year, you're not going to have a spot because everybody else around you is getting better.
Yep.
And it's good, healthy competition, which maybe we haven't had at all times here. And it's going to just push everybody forward, going to push the program forward. And I know we're kind of expecting maybe some big things next year. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's still, we talked about the section realignment, and it's actually, I think the section got tougher. It's certainly get easier. But hey, challenge accepted.
Yep.
Can't wait to drop the puck in November.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Well, we're back on the ice, ready to go. It's 10-5. There's Gray mounted a bit of a comeback there, and again, Arnold has shut the door for the Gray team since coming into the game. So Gray's just got to keep scoring and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, a little post-game or post-period interview. Gustafson acknowledging that Gray might have a little bit more youth and they might have a little bit more pep here in this period.
I think the real factor is how much beer was drank between periods.
Yeah, that's the X factor.
Yeah, certainly. And yeah, so those young guys aren't 21. I mean, hey, they got the advantage. Giveaway there. Nelson had his own blue line, loses the puck. AJ Muehlberg, full visor tilt, comes in out of the corner. Visor tilt and visor tint.
Yeah.
So he wears a tinted visor but pushes it up.
That feels like old Oldie.
Yeah. So he wants to tint his vision, but yet wears a tint for the visor tilted. It's all about the style. He's running lots of it. At least he's got matching socks. Puck played out to neutral ice. Black plays it right back in. Good play there. Dump deep. Gray takes over behind the net. Nelson struggles there, turns it over. Now regains it. Gives it to his D-man. Played up the half wall. Sarah Mueller gives it away to Rollers. Reagan Rollers comes in. Toe drag. Tries to go wide. Gets to the net. Puts it on. And it's squeezed between the goals. So nice little move there by Reagan Rollers to get to the net. So Gray's not dead yet. We see their stud coming on the ice here in a 9. Jake Gustin. You asked Jake what he thought, was giving Black the advantage. I was waiting for him to say myself. I thought he was going to say that he didn't. Humble guy.
I think he acknowledged the fact that he needed to find a beer or find somebody to get him a beer. I think he wanted to end that interview.
You were holding him up. I was holding him up from essential recovery practices between periods. As we see a center field catch there by Tucker Barth, the Black Squad.
I do appreciate his honesty though in that, and he, good hockey players, they're locked and they know what they want. And
they know we drink soda on the bench during the game. So what the heck? Ship play, nice play. Cleared out. Good defensive play there by Joel Gray. Michael Witowski. And he steers it back up the wall at the top of her stick though. Right to Gustafson. He fires wide. The rebound goal. Cody Mount. Guy's been all over this. He's in the running for player of the game too. I think he's right up there with Gustafson.
Puck just finds him every time.
And he's got a heck of a speed burst. Puts the rebound goal in.
He's probably not going to get knocked out the puck too easily either. He looks like he's pretty
He's a stout individual, that's for sure. He defies the laws of physics. He should not be able to move that fast for his size. Black just looking in sync now, I'd say. Beautiful breakup. Yeah. Streaks in. Backhand sauce. Nice sliding save by Jared Arnold to close it over. Reagan Rollers comes back the other way for Greg. Gustafson playing D. She goes wide, tries to toe drag. He breaks that up. She puts him in the wall. He steals away from there. Toe drag. Steps around the man. Gets to center